Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to the town of Mequat. This is the third episode in our new campaign, or our new season for the Colonial Charter mod. And we are playing with the latest version, which is 1.75. And yeah, so far we've been doing pretty well. We are stocking up on food, we have a decent amount of firewood. It is early winter, but it's still 4 degrees, so this seems to be like a mild year. The one thing that concerns me at the moment is that we don't have a lot of logs stored. However, we do have a forester lodge that is going to help us take care of that. However, I think what we do need is a more permanent source of stone. So that is one of the things I'd like to build in this episode. And we're going to do that in resource production, ores and minerals, I think. Though I'm not entirely sure. Saltworks, stone gatherer, collects stone from around the land. No, that's not what we want. We want to have a mine. Small quarry, a small quarry to extract resources, but we need planks for it, which we do not have. Iron ore and coal mine, stone and salt mine, there we go. A surface mine for mining stone and salt. Upgraded version allow the ground to be reclaimed on removal. Stone cutters work here, not miners. Alright. So this is what we're going to want to build, but where are we going to build it? This area we need to make sure is populated with wood and trees, or basically with trees. We don't have a whole lot of room to build, but I think we could do something over here, closer towards the mountains. That could be interesting. Or, yeah, you know, we can keep expanding our town over towards this direction and stay up close to the mountains, and we can get some resource production over here and over here, I guess. I think that would be the best way to do it, yeah. So, let's see, we will... Doesn't really matter which way we build it, but there is an aesthetic sense that wants to, you know... It should be satisfied a little bit as well. I guess this would be the best way to put it, or to place it down. So, let's see, we'll put it close to the mountain, but leave a space for a road. And then we're going to put it on halt for a little while, so we can place down a road, and we will place down a country road. Alright, so it begins over here. We'll place it like so, go down a little bit, over to the side, and then I want to build a bridge. This time I want to have a decent bridge. So let's have a look. We have a wooden bridge, which allows citizens to cross rivers, a stone and wood bridge. I think, let's see, a rock bridge, we already had one of those, just made of stones, and then an old creek bridge. A placeable small bridge to span small creeks, yeah. Creek plank bridge. A small creek bridge made of wood. This bridge is designed for the small creeks. Yeah, okay. I think this would do quite nicely. However, now I can't remember where we built these roads. That is unfortunate. But I think it was somewhere down in the middle over here. So we're going to place it down right there, and we're going to wait for it to be built. And for that, we're going to speed up time back up to ×5. And let's see, our builders, where are you going? He is working. And Hazeller is working, but she has a long way to go until this bridge is actually built. Right, looks like we got all the resources that we need. Now I'm very curious to see what this little creek bridge is going to end up looking like. And then I guess you might as well unpause this thing so that all the logs are going to be brought over to it. Now we're doing okay on store tools, so I'm not going to have the blacksmith working at the moment. We're okay on firewood, so I'm not going to have the fire cutter working. Though once firewood goes down, he's going to go back to work. And the tailor doesn't have the materials required. So I guess we're going to switch you over to leather, because hopefully... Now let's see... we need our hunter's lodge, or hunting cabin. We finally got some leather this season. Nice. We have primarily duck meat, but also a little bit of venison. And that means some feathers, some ginger as well, interesting. And some bone meal. But the 5 leather is most interesting to me because we're going to use that to make coats. Right now we have 7 survival coats made out of reeds and feathers, I think. Not quite so useful. Well, let's see. They're removing resources first. So they're cutting down some trees, they're cutting down some stone. And actually these are all going to be brought over to the resource depot. Right here, I think, the stockpile. And that's excellent because the trees that they're cutting down right now can be used to build this thing, I think. Hopefully we'll get enough out of it. Meanwhile, Reynaldo has become an adult. And now we have 3 laborers. Now that's excellent news. Let's see. We had single women living in these 2 houses. And Sheila is still single. However, Reynaldo has moved in with Athenia. And they will soon, hopefully, be making children for us as well. Look at that, we have deer back in the area, and I'm not sure, man. Maybe they changed it so that you can only get venison if deer are within the radius, because the deer move around the map a little bit, and it didn't used to be that way though. It wasn't like that in the beginning. You know, like hunting cabins would just gather deer even if there were no deer in the radius, but we seem to be getting more duck meat than anything else at the moment. And I think that's because of migration, maybe? Because I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. Alright, so they removed 8 out of 33. Wow. Let's go back to having 2 laborers and then 4 builders, so this goes a little bit quicker. Meanwhile, though, the little creek bridge is finished. The creek plank bridge. Look at that. That looks cool. It is a little sturdier, but not quite as high-tech, and that fits in quite nicely with the minimalist aesthetic that Banished has, so quite happy with that. They removed everything, now we simply need the logs. And that's going to take some time. Let's see, let's go back to 2 builders, we can have 2 laborers as well. Let's have the other 2 people become foresters, so we have a better income of logs. And then also plant some new trees. But as you can see, quite a lot of new trees have been planted already. So all we really need to do is wait for these to grow up, and then all these, the gatherer's hut, the hunting cabin, they should be more efficient in gathering whatever they're gathering. And even so, right now they're already pretty good at it. So yeah. Alright, so we're still looking good on food. Kamare has become an adult. Did Kamare move in with you? Yes, he did. 10 and 18. Alright. So there's no need to build any more houses at the moment until we have more young women and young men who can move in together. But for now, that's not going to be happening. We should also make sure that we have a road stretching from here to there. There we go. These roads are a little less obvious, but I kind of like it because it fits into the terrain a little bit better than the default roads. There's no meaningful difference between the two. You have a dirt road, but this is just, you know, like I said, it's aesthetically different, but not in function. So it just depends on what you like. Though some of these, you know, the stone roads, the moss roads, they require wood or stone to be made. We can also have brick roads, apparently. Let's see, we had 4 fishermen. How much are you producing? You produced 1,134 fish last season. Wow. That's quite good. But even so, we are only at 2,073. So I feel like this number is kind of stagnating around this, you know, the food is stagnating around this number. So if we build another house, then we are going to have to get another food production place, basically. Well, let's see, we have a child of 5, we have another child of 5, child of 8 and 3, 4 and 10. Jocelyn became a laborer. She's female though, so we need another male child. We have Chiron. In 2 years he will be an adult. Yeah, we're kind of stagnating on behalf of the men here. Oh, we have Hanerold. Hanerold, who is 8, and Chiron, who is 8 as well. So they're going to be racing a little bit for this one girl. Who gets to be the lucky one? You know, as soon, basically, you know, when I say lucky, you know, as soon as you get urges, you have a wife straight away. Kind of, it's kind of helpful, I suppose. Right, so the stone and salt mine is being built currently. We have all the logs that we needed. The regular logs are slowly going up. Alright, Josué has become an adult. That means we have 3 laborers again. Now, we don't actually have to wait 2 actual in-game years. These guys grow up a little bit faster than the actual years pass by. I'm not entirely sure by how much, however. I think it might be 2 times as fast, so 1 year in-game time is 2 year in people time. Something like that, probably. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, I already know which building we're going to be building next for food, and that's going to be, let's see, what is it called again? An apiary. An apiary produces honey as a food item, or beeswax, which can be turned into candles at a chandlery. And candles are going to be needed for deeper mines. And basically, before we can remove this, once it's empty, it's going to have to be upgraded with candles, so we can go deeper and still have light. Right, before that happens, that's not going to be possible. So we are going to build an apiary, and I suppose, let's see, it doesn't quite fit in here, sadly. We could fit it in here, and that could be cool. But I'm not entirely sure we want that. It doesn't quite fit in here either because of this one bit of road. Or actually, you know what? It does fit in. Oh, that is nice. Alright, we are going to place it down right there. And we're going to leave it open for construction so people can bring over some resources. We already have half of the logs and half of the stone. That's quite fast. And meanwhile, the stone and salt mine is finished. Now we can select either stone or salt. We're not going to get salt for now. We are going to go for stone. And for that we are going to have a miner. So let's add 1 out of 3. So we can keep 2 laborers and 2 builders. Right, and one of these guys, at some point, is going to be the beekeeper. I think it's called. Should be called that, I think. Yeah, a beekeeper. Alright, so tools are getting low. Iron, however, is lower. But we have... oh, right, we have iron ore. Never mind. Okay. But for now, with 13 tools stored up, 12 tools stored up, we have some time before we need another guy to get back on the job. So we will be fine just doing this. Meanwhile, though, look at this. We have 1 single guy, by the looks of it. The Angela. Which is a man, which is a bit of a weird name, I suppose, but I shouldn't comment because my own name is considered a girl's name throughout the entire world. 21, ragged clothing, a steel tool. That's quite good. So he has his original tool, I think. What is this? Miscellaneous items. Okay. The apiary is slowly being finished as well. That is good news. Alright. So this is actually quite cool that we can minimize the professions tab. Let's go ahead and do that for now because we don't really need to change anything, so we can get a better overview of our town. It is slowly expanding. Once this is entirely built, we can add a beekeeper, and we can do it from the menu right away. Meanwhile, Chiron has become an adult, and Hanerold has become an adult as well, which means that we could afford another house, except we don't have the food production for it. But we should have 2 extra laborers, so one of those can be a beekeeper. And then at some point, we're going to turn that beeswax, because it should provide both beeswax as well as honey. We need to turn it into candles. And let's see, refined resources I think is where we need to be, and then crafting. Chandlery. A chandlery is used to make candles out of beeswax, whale blubber or tallow, but for it we need planks. Alright, well then, So I guess the next thing we should build is planks. Let's see, fuel production, no, we don't want that. Clothing and fabrics, no. Construction, yeah. Alright, so we have a saw pit, which is a very small building and a very slow method of creating lumber by sawing wood logs. We have a lumber yard, rustic styled, let's see. Oh, I like that, yeah, we're going to go for this. Can we fit it in here? Not quite. Damn. Alright, so we have the wood storage over here. Can we fit it back there somewhere? No, not quite. We could fit it in here, but I think I would prefer to have some more houses here. And right here I think it looks a little bit ugly because it's going to be in the center of town. I don't like that. So right here we have hilly terrain. We made things a little bit harder for ourselves than they needed to be by selecting a mountain range. Alright, we could build it over here. I think that would be fine. And then we need another road, of course. A country road. Alright, let's extend this road over in this direction. There we go. 40 logs, 15 stone, but we should get a pretty steady supply of both of these things now. Or at least when people grow up, and we can add more of them to the job. And this should be less of a problem. Right, tools are getting low as well. Let's get a blacksmith to start making some rough tools again. Alright, meanwhile we should also keep an eye on the age of people. So we have 1, 37, 38, 31 actually, sorry. These are all quite young. Oh, 44 and 43. These people can probably live for a while longer, but at some point we're going to have to consider building a graveyard for these people. Because people that die and are not buried are going to lead to decreased happiness. So that is not something I want, you know. Alright. So these guys, well, these buildings slightly interfere with their productivity, but not by a whole lot. So this is going to be fine. They still produce quite a lot of food. And food is going up slightly. Is that because of the apiary? Let's see. 36 beeswax and 54 honey. Right, that was the previous season. It got built quite late into the season. A new season has already begun. And immediately they produced 27 honey. So, yeah. I remember when this apiary was an official mod to show that, you know, you can make this stuff, and it was an example for people to basically make more stuff like it. And back in that day it was quite unbalanced. It was very powerful, and one apiary with just one worker could produce a lot of food. But that seems to be toned down a little bit, which is, yeah, that's cool. I wonder, by the way, oh, we cannot upgrade the rock bridge. Okay. I was wondering about that. So we are going to be stuck with the rock bridge for a little while to come. It's actually fine, I don't mind that, but at some point I would actually prefer to have this one, I think. The creek plank bridge looks quite nice. And it's a little bit more eye-catching than this thing over here. It's good, you know. I was fine for the early game. It's going to be fine for the middle game. It's going to be fine for the entire game, basically, because it doesn't give any benefits to upgrade it to something like this, but it just looks nicer, in my opinion. You know, so at some point I might destroy it and dedicate some resources to building more. But at the moment we have 21 firewood and only 3 logs in storage, so that doesn't seem like a particularly good idea. The forest lodge, let's see. Last season they produced 178 logs. That is quite a lot, and that tells you something about how fast we're going through this stuff. And as you can see, the forest is filling out quite nicely. We might... oh no. Oh, we could go over here and build another one of these guys. Now we could have a storage area over here. The town could expand over in this direction, so it's not too far away. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Alright, meanwhile the lumberyard is finished. And we could make lumber out of hardwood, out of logs, or we could make firewood here as well. But we are going to go for logs. And let's see, we want a construction limit of not 1,000, we're going to go for a construction limit of 200. now we're going to add a worker to the lumberyard. And apparently we already have 2, which is interesting. And we have a person without a tool, but we have 1 tool in storage, so at some point they are going to go over there and retrieve it, I think. Or they should. Most definitely should. Alright, so we're looking okay. Food production is going down, wow, by quite a bit. It's halved already. That is not great. Of course, people are still having children, and the children need to be fed as well, but look at this going down. That is not good. So we might consider doing another fishing dock. We might build it on this edge, so that their radiuses don't intersect. Let's have a look. Yeah, a fishing dock. Turn it around like this. If we build it right here, they should be independent from each other. This would be a bad spot. We need as much water under this as we can, so this will be okay. Let's see, let's build a road here as well. Extend it up to here. And then like that, I think. Yeah. Not sure how this is going to work out in the long term, but we need something for our food production, you know. We already have the stone, we're going to have to wait a little bit for the logs. Oh, I actually didn't mean to click that away. General statistics, yeah. This is something we definitely have to keep up. I mean, I thought these guys would produce, yeah, already 54 logs this one season. It's summer. I would have thought they would keep up with the demand quite a little bit better, but I guess I've been building a lot of stuff, you know. It's been going a little bit too fast. So if our town is going to expand in this direction, we might get a marketplace over here. I already considered it. I'm not going to build it right now, but we can definitely do something or just place it down basically. An edibles market, a rural market, let's see. Tents and villages, not villages but tents and stuff. Old town market is quite big. Oh, we already had a small market lined up, right? Yeah. Central market, used to provide a large localized area. Right, I like this. It looks quite cool. However, this area is a little bit bigger than we actually need it to be. Let's see, small markets. Yeah, okay, so when we need it, we could build one of these. We already had it lined up. We're not going to do that right now, however. Alright, some more logs are being brought over, 12 out of 30. I think we're going to finish building that, and that's going to be the end of this season. Or not season, but episode. Wow, this is going quite fast. And let's see, let's expand the professions. We have 5 laborers. So plenty of people to spare. Let's see, we have 2 out of 3 hunters. We could actually add 1 hunter. Increase the food production of this thing a little bit. Yeah, the food is already going back up again, but it is going to be autumn, so at some point I think this is going to go down again, and I'd like to have more food than this on hand. And we're going to stop building for a little while after this is built as well, because we need firewood for winter. So, yeah. We're not getting as much or as many logs as I thought we would. We might want to consider cutting down a few more. Let's see. Let's harvest some trees from over here. Let's harvest that tree, these trees. Let's harvest this little group of trees as well. And that should give us a nice little boost. We have plenty of laborers to actually perform that job, so that's going to be fine. We need 5 more logs and then we are okay. But these guys are going to have to walk quite far to bring this stuff over here. So what we might want to consider doing is add something else. Let's see, did I actually make a road over here? Because it doesn't look like I did. And if I didn't, now we're going to have one. Alright, let's see what we're going to do. Alright, we were going to add a storage area, a stockpile, and a transparent one at that, I think. Log stockpile. I think this would be okay. Just add logs here, put it at the very edge, make it 4x6, like so. So they can take it from here to there, and whoever needs it over this area can go there instead of all the way over here. And these guys don't have to bring it all the way over here. So that basically halves the distance they have to make. And hopefully that's going to be a little bit more effective. Right, so the fishing dock is complete. Let's add 4 fishermen in total. More people have grown up. So we have 2 fishing docks now. And yeah, we are doing quite well, I think. Right, so we have this log stockpile right now. All the logs produced over here can be brought over in this direction, and other people can come pick it up. I think that works, or that is going to work out quite nicely. Alright, so that's the end of this episode. Please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more, and I'll see you guys with whatever video I do next.